having a great day. Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about what I'd mentioned in my earlier vlog about autoimmune disease and basically why it happens and a little bit of a starter on how to start fixing it. So, the major issue that I want to talk about today is autoimmune disease and how it starts in your digestive system. A lot of chronic conditions in today's society actually start in your digestive system. And it is a long process, and then eventually it kind of blooms into chronic conditions. Because if you think about it, over the last 40 years, most people died from things like infections. But now, I'm not a statistic kind of person, but you can look it up. There are millions and millions and millions of people that are suffering, particularly in the United States, from chronic conditions, which include autoimmune conditions. So, to get started, this is basically how it works. First of all, processed food and lack of nutrients all cause inflammation in the digestive system. And that's kind of how it starts. And when I say processed foods, I mean if you get it from a box, if you get it from a can, if it has a bunch of ingredients and it's not the ingredient, like you don't look at zucchini and say, what's the ingredients in zucchini? Because that is the ingredient. Those are the best types of things to eat. The things that are ingredients themselves. So processed food are is a whole plethora of items that is really a new thing to our society if you look at the big picture. Because before that, that's basically we ate meat, we ate vegetables, we ate fruits, and we ate dairy. And it's not until the last 50 years that we have been adding sugar to every product and highly processing all of these foods. So what happens, and this is the part that a lot of people don't understand, is when you start taking in all of these foods all of the time, pretty soon in your digestive system, you get inflamed. And I don't just mean inflamed as in it may cause a little bit of heartburn, or it may cause a little bit of gas. I'm talking about the kind of inflammation that is actually causing what you see promoted a lot, which is called leaky gut. And what that does is it actually makes little holes in your intestines. And those little holes are important because the food particles and all of that stuff that's in your digestive system starts to move out and go through where it's not supposed to, into your system. And your immune system all of a sudden sees something outside of the digestive system that's not supposed to be there. And it reacts, which is what a good immune system does. So all of a sudden it starts to attack it. And it starts to attack all of those particles that are outside of your digestive system, because you've screwed up your digestive system so much that it's caused all these little holes and places for food and other things to leak out. So once that happens, it causes your immune system to flare really high. And what happens after that is people with autoimmune disorders is that immune system and those antibodies start to attack wherever, I guess you could say, there's a weak link. That's a simplified version, but whatever your weak link is. Like I said, mine was my thyroid. They can attack your joints, which is basically arthritis. They can attack your brain, the myelin sheath, and that is multiple sclerosis a lot of the time. Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, all of those disorders. Those are all autoimmune diseases because it started in your digestive system. And that's something that I think we're not educated in knowing. And we've kind of been given a bad bill of goods when it comes to all the food that's on the market nowadays. And that's why the autoimmune, how many millions and millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, have autoimmune conditions nowadays. And because so many people eat processed foods, and like I said, and gluten has changed because it's the way that it's processed. There's nothing wrong with bread and pasta and all of those things that have gluten in them until you do all of the process, because it's a whole other video. But there's so many times more gluten in products than there were 50 years ago. Okay, so a piece of bread is not the same as a piece of bread today. So that's why so many people have these allergic reactions. And those are simple things. Those are the simple items that basically you react to, because you're not even adding in all of the preservatives and chemicals, and not to mention that there's Roundup in your food basically from GMOs. But so beyond that, I'd like the focus to be on how to make it better. And one of the main ways that people can start healing their guts beyond taking the processed foods out of their diets is very simple, actually, and it's something that really, really worked for me. And that was bone broth. And that sounds very simple. You take your chicken, you take your turkey, your whatever, and you throw the bones in a pot, and you put water in there, and you let it simmer for 12 to 48 hours on your stove, or you use a pressure cooker. I know that sounds so simple, but bone broth has something called collagen in it, and it has some 3 major amino acids, which now I'm getting sciencey. So it has amino acids and it has collagen, and what collagen does is it goes into your intestinal lining, and it heals all those little leaky spots that are inside of your intestines. And a lot of you'll see that you can buy collagen powder and all this stuff. To me, that's just more process. I mean, I boil all my chicken carcasses, and I throw in some apple cider vinegar and some garlic and other things like that, and I put them in mason jars, and I'm going to show you a little bit later at the end of the video so you kind of get a good idea. And then I just add it to a bunch of different recipes that I can. The second thing that really heals your digestive system are omega-3s. And you can find omega-3s in salmon, you can find them in almonds, you can find them in beef, and that's, all of these things are primarily why I'm not a vegetarian, is because I personally, for me, for what my body needs, I need to have the things that happen to be in beef, that happen to be in all of the bone broth and those products that are going to help heal me in the inside. The better way to go, and it's a big leap, I'll tell you, it was a big leap for our family, is to buy grass-fed beef, because grass-fed beef is what's going to make all the difference. Because there you go, it's the whole processing thing again. If you feed the beef crap, then you're going to get crap meat. I mean, I hate to be, lay it out there, but that's just the way it is. So unless you get grass-fed beef, you're not going to get those higher rates of omega-3s, because the nutritional value of your grass-fed beef goes up the roof compared to what you buy in the store. In fact, what you buy in the store nowadays, any food you buy in the store, even the fresh fruits and vegetables, are very old as compared to the nutritional value you get out of your garden. In fact, when I give, you see my little chickens here, when I give out eggs, it's so funny because I can tell people who get it and people who just go, oh, thank you, and then to go throw them away. So, and there are people like that. That's okay. But the nutritional value of what I feed my chickens and the eggs that they produce, I give people eggs, and they're very fresh, because most, look at this chicken, you are so crazy. Say hi to the camera. I have chickens that sit on my lap. It's so strange. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. So, and the eggs that you get in the grocery store are a month old already. And a lot of people don't realize that. There's a way that you can check to have your eggs, whether they're fresh, when you drop the egg into water. And I can show you that in another video as well. So you can see how fresh your products are. Because the fresher that what you consume, the more nutrients you get in your body. And that's kind of the key, is to focus on having as much nutrient-dense foods into your body as you possibly can. Because the bottom line is if your digestive system, which if you've been eating processed food, which includes just about everyone, then your digestive system is compromised. And if your digestive system is compromised, it doesn't matter how many vitamin supplements you take. It doesn't matter how much medicine you take. Because if the inside of your intestines are inflamed, you're not going to absorb it. So that's just, you know, it's sad, but that's the reality of the whole situation. So a lot of people, even the people at the grocery store when I go through, have commented and said, wow, you buy a lot of fruits and vegetables. Wow, what's this? And I'll say, that's a rutabaga. What's this? That's a parsnip. What's this? That's kale. And, you know, people comment all the time, which I get used to. But my favorite thing to say back to them is, well, I figure you either pay at the grocery store or you pay at the doctor's office. Think about that. You either spend your money on quality organic food, or you spend your money on prescriptions and doctor's office visits. You either spend your time in the kitchen cutting up carrots and apples and parsnips and beets and kale and cooking and making bone broth, or you spend your time in the doctor's office reading a magazine, waiting to be seen. And I know that's just a really harsh reality, but it's the truth. And I've really figured that out the last couple of years because of these issues. So today's kind of a heavy kind of talk kind of day, huh? So the next thing that I want to do is I want to kind of take you through my kitchen and show you just a few things, because it's too overwhelming to think that you're going to go and you're going to do all of this stuff tomorrow, right? So I was trying to think of something that would be really easy to kind of make a change in your diet or make a change in whatever you're doing. And you know, one of the best things that a lot of people can do is so simple. And that is, when you wake up in the morning, drink an entire glass of water. I know you're probably laughing right now. You're thinking, what difference is that going to make? I got to have my coffee, man. Well, I have to have my coffee too. That's my vice. I am totally with you, okay? I'm a complete coffee snob. I love coffee. That's the vice that I can't seem to give up. But if you get up and you just drink an entire glass of water, preferably filtered, before you do anything else, it is going to clear out so much of the toxins in your body, and it will help just clear your system and get ready for the day. That's just something simple you can do. Just something, you know, just start doing it, and after a month you'll just find that it's a routine, and, you know, easy peasy pie. So the next thing is I want to show you my kitchen. So come with me. Okay, welcome to my humble little kitchen. I want to show you a few things that I use on a daily basis. And keep in mind, these are things that I have accumulated over many years, okay? It's not something that happened overnight. These are things that I use every single day that I think that might help you if you want to start changing some things in your life. The first thing here is my Blendtec blender. Oh, I love my Blendtec blender. It grinds, you know, they do commercials. They can actually grind up a cell phone. It's amazing. The only other product that I would use is a Vitamix. So this I use for smoothies that I make every day. I use it for, oh goodness gracious, I use it for soups. I make soups. I use it for salad dressings. My son even has made homemade almond milk, where you just put actual almonds and water and you could make almond milk. So it's pretty awesome. The next thing that I brought out that I wanted to show was my bone broth. So this is my bone broth. These on the end are ones that I pulled out of the freezer to show you that I freeze the bone broth. I do big batches at a time. What I do is I save my carcasses and I put them in the freezer, and then on a weekend what I do is I put them all in pots and I let them simmer. Some people use pressure cookers. I haven't gotten one yet, but it's pretty awesome because then you always have that bone broth on hand, and it really helps heal your intestinal lining. You can see what it looks like right there. But I do use this for a lot of my recipes, and it really helps during the week to be prepared for that. The next thing you can see on my counter, we eat a lot of avocados, obviously, is my full-fat coconut milk. And I probably consume a half a can to a full can of this every single day. It's so good for your brain. It is absolutely, it's good fat, just like avocados are good fat. They are really so important to the healing of so many parts of your body. So don't ever get misled thinking that fats are bad for you. Good fats are not bad for you. In fact, my cholesterol has gone down about 10 points in the last year. And I use this every single day. So the other thing I want to show you is my Berkey water filter. Now my Berkey water filter is something that we fill on a daily basis. It filters the water. It's pretty much the best one out there. You can get a reverse osmosis, which does a pretty good job as well. But this Berkey water filter, it has 2 charcoal filters inside. And so it's just part of our routine. We just get up in the morning and we fill, sometimes twice a day, we fill this up. This is the travel size. They have a big Berkey, they have Berkeys that are smaller. We have a couple travel bottles. You can pretty much take water from anywhere and filter out the impurities. So it's just a big investment because good water is a foundation for a lot of health. A lot of actual heart problems come from bad water. So you can also say I have a good set of knives. That's a story in itself. That's another video. But you need a good set of knives because you're going to be doing a lot of cutting with vegetables and fruits and a lot of cooking. So you can see I have olive oils, all of my cookbooks that I use right there. So this is just kind of the beginning, and I'm kind of hoping that it might help. I use a cast iron skillet. None of that non-stick. None of the non-stick. I don't have any non-stick pots or pans or anything, because it's carcinogenic. Actually, the old-fashioned skillet is the better way to go. So I hope this helps.